King Felipe and Queen Letizia of Spain have cut short a visit to the flood-wracked eastern province of Valencia. Anger over the government's slow response to last week's disaster hit a climax today. Enraged by late warnings and delayed assistance in Spain's worst flash flooding in decades, furious crowds hurled mud and insults at the royals. Security struggled to maintain order. The death toll from the natural disaster is at 214. The emergency campaign is now switching to a recovery effort as hopes of finding survivors fade. But a severe weather warning across parts of the region is hindering operations with more intense rain forecast. Let's bring in journalist Jorge Meliá. We were just looking at that response of flood survivors as the king toured parts of the region of Valencia. Tell us more about what has unravelled at the scene.
Then we're watching real intense moments, riots in Paiporta, one of the towns that has suffered the most. Most of the victims were from this little town next to Valencia. The visit was planned with the royal family, the King and Queen of Spain, next to the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and the president of the Valencian community, Carlos Mazón. The party was getting inside Paiporta after talking to the different emergencies service to follow the news, the news, the last minute of these incredible rescues and this incredible work, when the King of Spain and all the committee was attacked, we could say, or insulted by the victims, the people who has lost the businesses, their loved ones, their cars, their houses, and that's when the Pedro Sanchez, the Prime Minister, left the scene. We could imagine for security reasons, but the Queen and the King of Spain decided to stay next to the President of Valencia, Carlos Mazón. We are watching right now the King of Spain talking to the people, trying to calm down. They are trying to evacuate him. I guess he already left the scene, but he was good 15 minutes talking to the people. We saw the Queen of Spain covering in mud. But talking to the people, they wanted to hear what they have to say. They wanted to calm things down, and of course, they want to help. But we are seeing, and now we have confirmation that the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez left the scene without talking to the people. We could hear different insults to the Prime Minister, but again, the King was trying to calm things down. He denied to his security team to evacuate the area. He wanted to talk to the people, and we have seen right now images of the Queen of Spain covered in mud, but talking to the people who have left and who are lost. Sorry, everything.
Jorge, it's also incredible to see there in those pictures so few security personnel around the monarch, that the king was fending off some of those projectiles that were thrown by angry people in the crowd with an umbrella. I mean, how out of touch is the monarch with what's going on? How out of touch is the state with this disaster, considering how slow the response was, how slow the warnings were, and how slow the state aid has been?
Yeah, we have. I mean, it's time. Again, it's time to work. It's time to rescue. It's time to recover the bodies. It's time to find the persons who are missing. But of course, we will need a lot of answers. We will need to revise the protocols to see if the alerts were on time, to see if the coordination between the government, the national government, and the local government were okay. But of course, I think, and it's going to be the image that's going to live in the minds of the Spanish people for a long time. The Prime Minister leaving the area without listening to people who has lost everything, and the monarch, the Queen of Spain, and the King of Spain refusing to leave and wanting to talk to the people. I think it's the touch, the closeness, the humanity who I think the politicians here in Spain with the last few current events has lost. I think here the royal family has shown a real close touch to the people who, again, are still looking for the loved ones.
The interesting thing is that while people still continue to look for their loved ones, and volunteers are out in force where rescue teams have perhaps been missing, now they're being called back from the floodplains with more forecast rain. Tell us more about that.
Yes, there is a lot of problems of coordination. Again, the first day, 15,000 persons show up to help. That's a lot of help. It's also the beautiful story of Valencia, of the Valencia people willing to help. Even people from Madrid, from Barcelona will like taking their cars, driving to Valencia, which was not recommended to do because the roads are still not okay for the whole driving. It's still dangerous to drive. And also they need to leave space for the emergency service. But there was a huge response. Right now, they are trying to control that response to let people help, but in a more coordinated system. Today, there was also, you said the restriction, people could not go. They are trying to first leave the soldiers, the police officers, the firefighters to work today, and also because there was a huge risk of infection. Just have in mind then that this is the 5th day with all the food, all the animals, bodies in the water. So there is a high risk of infection right now. That's why we see all the volunteers and all the emergency services working with masks, with gloves, because there's a huge risk of diseases. They're gonna start to spread in these towns. Just yesterday, there was like 3 people injured working in a garage, and they were injured because there was a gas. The air was contaminated, so they had to be sent to the hospital. So we need to work. We need to help, but in a very coordinated system right now.
Journalist Jorge Meliá there with the very latest on those Spanish floods. Thank you.